All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So, folks, the San Francisco 49ers are very clearly the best team in the National Football League. Well, at least they're the best team in the NFC. Dallas, Philadelphia, they've completely embarrassed and dismantled both teams this past Sunday afternoon. 456 yards of total offense on the road, might I add, against a 10-1 Philadelphia Eagles team. Brock Purdy goes for over 300 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns, most importantly, 0 interceptions. And we know a couple of things. First off, we've seen the Dallas game. We've seen the Philly game. Brock Purdy in both of those two games combined, by the way, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's also first in completion percentage, yards per attempt, and quarterback rating. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but clearly San Francisco's the team to beat. Physically, talent-wise, coaching, you could name anything, and San Francisco is better. They're just better. And they pose a matchup issue for every single team in the National Football League. They also are a very physical team, which I feel like in the year 2023, you don't see much physicality just being imposed at will against opposing teams. I mean, they wanted to beat Philadelphia, but they wanted to dominate it. They wanted to embarrass them completely at home, and that's exactly what they did. So tonight we're going to be talking a little bit more about the San Francisco 49ers sitting here at 9-3. They have the second rated offense. They have the third rated defense. They're just that good. I mean, they are just that good. So before we get any further, if you guys enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you guys want more Niners content, let me know down below in the comment section. But let's try this video to 100 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. So against Philly, it did start a little bit slow, right? They were outscored 6-0. Wasn't anything crazy, but the offense was a little bit dry. There wasn't much going on. 14 points in the second quarter, 14 points in the third quarter, 14 points in the fourth quarter. And, still the Brock Purdy criticism is very much alive. The thing is, none of it matters. San Francisco 49ers fans, they are not only thrilled about their team, but they're thrilled about the long-term outlook of Brock Purdy, especially his contract being such a young player, only the second season of his young NFL career. I mean, he just wins football games. But I think when people think of Brock Purdy, they think of I guess they compare him to Jimmy G. They throw around the words, product of a system, game manager, whatever you want to say. Brock Purdy on the season has a 70.2% completion percentage. He has over 3,100 passing yards. He's throwing for 265 yards per game, 23 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. I believe he's actually the MVP favorite right now. I think if you're calling Brock a game manager, I think you're just kind of exposing yourself for not watching Brock Purdy play. We could give him CMC, we could give him Trent Williams, and we could give him George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, whatever. But he still has to make the throws, and he still has to make the plays, and he still has to limit turnovers. And that's exactly what he does on a week-to-week basis. So let's look a little bit at that Philly game. It seriously was embarrassing. If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan right now, you are not only embarrassed, but you're certainly worried about your team. I mean, how are you going to hang with San Francisco if you just lost 42-19 at home? So Brock Purdy, 19-27, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. CMC, the league's best running back by far, 17 carries, 93 yards and a touchdown. He now has 12 rushing touchdowns and over 1,000 rushing yards on the season. Folks, we're only 12 games into the season. All right. If these guys can stay healthy, they're just easily going to win the Super Bowl. All right. They're just easily going to win the Super Bowl. If these critical key players, Brock Purdy, CMC, Deebo Samuel, if these guys can just stay healthy, they will win the Super Bowl. But anyways, I digress. Deebo Samuel. You got to love the trash talk. And that's another thing I love, it kind of goes with that physicality. They want to embarrass and dismantle opponents, but they're not afraid to let you know that. Deebo Samuel, 3 rushes, 22 yards and a touchdown, and then 4 catches, 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. It wasn't just that. George Kittle, 4 catches, 68 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 5 catches, 46 yards and a touchdown. Juwan Jennings, 3 catches, 44 yards and a touchdown. CMC, 3 catches, 40 yards. I mean, the list goes on and on and on to a week-by-week basis. Guys are just feasting. They're tearing defenses apart. Now, defensively, that defensive line is absolutely loaded. And the second they got Chase Young, we hopped on the mic and we said it's over. I mean, it just is over. Nick Bosa is a freaking stud. Hargrave's a stud. Fred Warner's a stud. All of these guys are absolute studs. Eric Armstead. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Even losing Hufanga, which obviously sucks. Not only are they a talented team, but they're also a very deep team. There's just talent littered across it. And, San Francisco is one of those teams where statistics just aren't even going to do them justice. We could sit here and, you check the statistics. They're putting up 29 points per game. They're giving up less than 16 points per game. They're running for almost 150 yards per game. They're throwing for 266 yards per game. They're first in opposing rush yards. They're just statistically better than everybody in a lot of categories, or they're at least, top 5. The eye test proves to me Brock Purdy is a perfectly capable and moral quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And the thing is, what's so crazy about it is, obviously he was the last pick in the draft, and that's all we heard about last season, as it should be. I don't really think where you get drafted matters all that much, but we saw it in the regular season. I think if it wasn't San Francisco and if it wasn't Brock Purdy, every other quarterback on every other team in the league would be getting commended that the backup rookie quarterback, no matter what team, if it was Kansas City, you wouldn't hear the end of it. If it was Philadelphia, you would not hear the end of it. If your backup QB comes into your team, no matter your record, no matter your team, no matter your roster, your coach, whatever, and he lights it up and he doesn't lose games and he doesn't throw interceptions and he's throwing touchdowns and he's got this cool, calm, confident swagger to him, everybody would just be commending it. And so what does he do? Well, he wins a couple of playoff games and he gets you to the NFC Championship game. And for still some weird reason, all we're hearing about in the offseason is Brock Purdy actually good? Is he a product of a system? Is he a game manager? Is Kyle Shanahan this much of a genius? Or is it George Kittle, CMC, all these players? Every quarterback, all 31 teams, you would not hear the end of it. And I guess people like to hate on success, but use the eyes. Use statistics, use metrics, use whatever you want to use. But for me, Brock Purdy is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Is he a top 5 QB? I don't think so. Is he a top 10 QB? He's certainly playing like a top 10 QB. He's certainly playing right now. He's playing like a top 5 QB. Long term, is he going to win? Can he win more than one Super Bowl? How many Pro Bowls is he going to make? Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback? None of this matters. Literally none of it matters. And the thing is, and we talk about this in every single San Francisco 49ers video I make, take it from a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm not Colin Kaepernick. I'm still haunted. You're not going to hear the end of it until he wins a Super Bowl. And it's probably going to be this year. If it was Madden and we turned injuries off, they would win the Super Bowl every single time. So that's it. A little bit of a San Francisco 49ers hype rant video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. But most importantly, let me know your thoughts on the San Francisco 49ers down below.